Okay, good morning class. Today we'll be learning our circular skirt. So these are the measurements needed for your circular skirt. Okay, before I start with the measurement needed, there are two steps, two methods in achieving your circular skirt. Is either you use your pattern or you use the formula, which the formula is C circumference equals 2 pi r, whereby you find r. So our last week topic, we did the handkerchief skirt. I used the formula for in achieving the handkerchief skirt. So you can go through the video, but the difference between the handkerchief skirt and the circular skirt is the end area of a circular skirt is even, like you have the roundness even all round. But for the handkerchief skirt, it's not even, it's asymmetric because it has angles. So that's just the difference. But you can as well use the same method I used in achieving my handkerchief skirt for your circular skirt. So what you are going to do at the end point is to make your hem even instead of leaving it angle to form handkerchief skirt. So that is that about the the circumference method. So coming to my pattern right here, these are the measurements needed to achieve your circular skirt. You need your waist measurements, you need your hip depth, the hip circumference, and the length of the skirt. That's what you need in drafting your pattern. So these are the components that we need to see by the time you are done with the circular skirt project. At least your band and the zip. So these are the steps you need to follow in constructing your circular skirt. The first step is you draft your basic skirt pattern, which I have done on the board. Then the next one is to panel the pattern into sections. I don't know, you can panel your pattern into 3, into 4, into 5, into 6. It depends on how you want to panel it. But I am going to panel this pattern into 4. So paneling my front into 4, then my back into 4. And please take note, once you draft your basic pattern, eliminate the back dart. Eliminate this back dart. How do you eliminate the back dart? Whatever measurement you have for your dart, you remove it at the side. So length, I have 0.75 for my dart. So I come to the side right here and measure 0.75. Can you see? So I'm going to use my French curve to connect this to this place. I'm going to use my French curve to connect this to the hip. Then you can clean this off and do your sewing allowance. So now I'm going to connect this back to my hip like that. Okay, so I can cancel this one and now add my sewing allowance ½ inch. So after I've added the sewing allowance, automatically my dart is cancelled. So that is that about eliminating your about eliminating your dart. Now you can see I have my front, I have my back dartless. I have my side, my zip allowance 1 inch, and I have my hemming allowance as well 1 inch. So now the next thing I have to do is to divide this section, is to panel my front pattern and to panel my back pattern. I said I'm paneling into 4. So what I'm going to do is Measure what you have there and divide it into 4. So I have okay. I'm doing the same thing for the back. So after I've done that, the next thing to do is to square down my lines. I square it down and up. Because these lines are the one I'm going to slash and spread to form my flare. So there are other methods in creating your slash lines on your pattern as well. We call it the fold method. Whereby you fold your pattern paper into how many? So I'm done with my paneling, and the next one says slash and spread. So this one I'm going to bring out the pattern that I've already drafted. Okay, so I've done my slash lines on the pattern. So I want to show you how to do your spreading on another paper. So I'm slashing through this. You see, this is my front set. This is my front pattern, and this is my center front. So I'm cutting to the tip. To the tip, and please don't you have to be careful so it doesn't slash through. To the tip as well. So right now I want to spread it on another paper. So let us assume this is my pattern paper, and this line is the edge of my pattern paper. So this is the edge of my pattern paper. What I'm going to do now is to place my center front here. I'm going to align it on the edge of my, I'm going to align it with the edge of the paper. So you take it, you secure it down with the use of your masking tape. Like that. Then you start your spreading. You secure this one too Then you slash your back pattern and do the same thing. So this is my back pattern. I'm not going to slash my zip allowance. I'm only slashing the lines, the 3 lines at the middle. So like that. Like that. So now I'm going to place my back on this, setting my zip allowance on the line as well. Setting my zip allowance on the line as well. So I secure it with the tape. So now I have both my front pattern and the back pattern spread on another paper. So as you can see, so I have my pattern slashed spread on the board on my extra paper. Then as you can see, when spreading your pattern, make sure your sides, like the waist of the sides comes together. Then you still have your spreading down here, but the waist has to come together. So when you are working with this method, always eliminate the allowance, the sewing allowance, cut it off so that you are getting your circular skirt once without cut at the side. But if you want a circular skirt with seam allowance at the side, that means you are spreading them separately. So the way I spreaded this one on the board as one piece, then it's going to be like what I did here is going to be for front alone. Then you get another white paper, another plain paper to do the same thing for the back pattern. You spread the back pattern to this method. So you have them separately. By that, you have seam allowance at the side. So that's for that. But this one is just one piece. Because I'm doing it as one piece, you eliminate the sewing allowance. So now that I have done that, then your center back should align on that edge of your paper. So let your zip allowance be left out. Like as you can see, this is the blue line signifies the edge of my paper. So you can see my center front, I aligned it with the edge of the paper. Then my center back to align it with the edge of the paper. So after you've done that and you are done with your spreading, you can now blend the hem with either your curve or ruler. Just blend the hem like that. So you blend your hem all the way. So you do that all the way to this part. So after you've done that, then you can now cut like this and cut the hem of the paper. Then you place it on your fabric. So if you are placing it on the fabric, you fold your fabric into two. Let's assume this is my fabric. You fold your fabric into two this way. As you can see, this part is unfold. So same thing you are going to do with your pattern. You place it on the fabric. So this zip part will now be unfold on one side, and your center front will be unfold on the other side. So once you cut it out on your fabric, you can now slash your zip part open. You know you must have cut out the middle circle too. That's your waist circumference. You must have cut out that one too, like this. Then you have this part unfold, you have this part unfold. So the one for front is definitely going to be unfold. The one for back is what you are going to slash to sew your zip on it. So that is that for your circular skirt using your pattern paper. But if you want the other option, like I said earlier, you can watch the handkerchief skirt using the formula to achieve your circular skirt. Thank you. And that's going to be the end of today's class. See you next week.